Hey guys, hope you're having a happy Sunday. I just wanted to come on because I just went out to brunch with my friend. You can also see like I tried to straighten my hair and burn myself, so that's my little mark for the day. But anyway, I went out to brunch, a couple's brunch with my friend and her husband and my husband, and her daughter is a senior in high school. And she's getting ready to, let her go and go off to school. And it's only an hour and a half away. And so I was like, well, let me ask her the question that I ask all of you. Are you ready to let her go? And how are you feeling about it? And I thought she was going to talk about herself, but as most of us do, she started talking about her daughter. And the question was, how are you doing about it? But she didn't answer that. She started talking about how her daughter was ready to go, but not ready to go. Sometimes she wanted to be with her. Sometimes she was trying to state her independence. And her daughter gets homesick because she misses her cat. She misses her grandparents. And, she doesn't like to share a bathroom with anyone or a room with anyone. So last summer when her daughter went to camp, it was really difficult. And now, she's going away to college, and her daughter is starting to get a little bit homesick, and she's worried about her daughter getting homesick. Luckily, her daughter only lives an hour and a half away, so she'll be able to come and visit whenever she wants. So I asked the question again, so how are you dealing with it? What are you going to do? This is her second one going off. She still has one more at home. And she was like, my daughter, my daughter, my daughter. And so I was thinking about how so many of us, when we ask a question to moms, how are you doing as a mom? How are you feeling? We don't know how to answer back. We start talking about our kids, our husbands, our life, our family, but we don't know how to talk about ourselves, and maybe sometimes it's because we avoid it, because we don't have that action plan. We don't have that what's going to happen next. We kind of live day by day, or we live in the future, like the kids are going to go to college and then they're going to come home over Christmas, or the kids are leaving now and then the next time I'll see them is this, or, my husband is going to work and then in a couple of months we're going to take a vacation here, or I have to do this for, this person, or I need to finish this up. So this happens. We never really dig down deep and think about ourselves and what we want. And when we get asked a question, we might not on purpose want to, but we kind of, fizzle away from our own feelings. And so then, she's a good friend of mine. So I said to her, you know what? I don't mean to be rude, and I understand about your daughter, but I want to know about you. I'm here for you, and I want to know about you. I want to know, how are you feeling? And then all of a sudden, she just looked at me for a second, and her eyes swelled up, and her voice started cracking, and she was like, I'm not doing good. And I was like, well, why? Why not? And she was like, I'm not doing good because I'm really going to miss her. I don't know what I'm going to do. She is my only daughter. I've got son. She's my confidant, my friend. If I need anything, she's there. And I am just going to really miss her, our talks and everything. And I said, but you can still call her on the phone and you can still be there. She's like, I'm going to miss her presence because, before when my son left, it was 5 of us. And then when she was here, it was 4 of us. And now it's going to be 3 of us. And I'm just worried about, how I'm going to deal with it. I'm like, okay, good. She's getting a little deeper. And she's like, at night, sometimes I can't sleep, or I really worry about her homesickness. And then she went back to her daughter. And I said, but what about you? She said, I don't know what I'm going to do with myself, because now that the second one is gone and more are leaving, I don't know what to do with myself. I'm like, well, you can spend more time with your husband. You can spend more time taking care of yourself. And she said, but I don't know how to do that, because all my life I've been taking care of these kids and running this house and doing everything for everybody else. I don't know what to do. I feel lost. I don't even know where to start. I said, what do you like to do? And she said, well, you know what? I really like to, volunteer and help out in the community and be part of women's groups. And I said, well, that's great. That's a start. How will you get there? What women's groups interest you? Is it helping kids? Is it helping seniors? Is it a book club? Is it a wellness? What helps you? And then we started talking about this, and then I could see that she has had a sigh of release, and she's like, thank you, Uzma. You know what? You've got me on a start. And so that's what, I'm trying to tell all of you, is that you need to have some kind of action plan. You need to have some kind of start, because I've mentioned over and over that I didn't, and I was on the couch sleeping. I was watching Netflix. I didn't have time management. I wasn't cooking. I wasn't cleaning. I was just like in this oblivious type of thing, because it was just like I was lost. There was no who to cook for. I mean, obviously the spouse or the other kids, but the less people you are in the house, the lazier you get, or the less things you cook, because, if you cook like a whole meal before, when you cook after everybody leaves, it's like portions, or you cook too much and you're freezing some, or there's not that many places to go or drive, and you don't know what to do with yourself, and pretty soon you're in this rut. And then you start going deeper into the rabbit hole, and you start thinking, everybody else is going it through their life. I'm still doing the same thing. What about me? Because you have nothing, no goal or nothing to look ahead of. And with an action plan, you don't have to start work now, volunteering now, work on the action now. It's just all written down. So when you are ready, because everybody takes different steps. Like for me, it took me a while. One day I would write, 5 things that I wanted to do. And then a week later I would go back and erase those things and then write. It took me about 6 months to really feel what I wanted to do. And once I started, it just started giving me hope and something to look at. And I want all of you to have hope, because a lot of moms, once their kids leave, because they've put so much energy into their family and their kids and that life, that when that whole circle of life is done with, they don't have another circle to go into. And so you don't have to, with an action plan, it's just having it written down, going step by step, whether it takes 1 month, 2 months, 6 months, 3 years, whatever it takes, you have something to look forward to, and you're working towards something. So your spirits are high, your confidence is high, and you feel good also. So tomorrow at 5:00 Central Time, I have my webinar, my free webinar. I'll put the link again. And I'm not having very many more, because I am filling up with my phone calls. And in the webinar, you'll learn about my journey. You'll learn about limited beliefs that we have. And you will also learn 3 steps for an action plan, because in that webinar, it's free. You get 3 steps. 1, 2, 3 steps to start your action plan, and then you'll get to call me and we'll get to talk about how we can further that action plan. So if you watch the webinar, you even get a bonus in there. I even have a special bonus. I'm not going to tell you what it is. You have to watch the webinar to get that special bonus, which will really be helpful to you when you're stressed or not feeling right or anxious, or even the day you have to drop off your child, or, if something's not going right, you can use this bonus to help you. But if you sign up, it will really help you and benefit you, because so many of us women, we think we are in control and we think we can do it. I can lose weight. I can, manage my kids going, they're gone. I can handle it. But we don't know how to handle it, right? Because we're moms and we're sensitive creatures, and this is our whole life, right? And I ask you the question, when you want to lose weight, why do you get a personal trainer? When you want to learn to cook, why do you look on Google or a cooking show to learn how to cook something? Because that helps you get out of your rut of cooking, right? Cooking the same thing over and over. So you go to a cooking class, or you watch cooking on television, and you learn how to do something new, so you get out of your rut. Same thing when you're not losing weight and you need somebody to push you, you go to a personal trainer. When the kids are not doing well in their school, you find a tutor. So it's not anything wrong to have somebody to hold you accountable and learn to take the steps to letting go, and also helping you let go of control. Because, I am a control freak. I still want to be a control freak to my kids, but I talk to myself. There's myths, there's methods, there's so many ways. There's a myth to the madness, right? So The free webinar is tomorrow at 5 o'clock, and after this, I might have one more, but I think this is the very last one I'm going to do till I close my doors, and that'll be it for a little bit. So if you really, really want to be the mom who is a role model for their child, then this will be for you. If you really want to be confident and move on with your life, if you want to have an action plan, then this is for you. If you want to be somebody who has goals and something to look forward to and doesn't want to be alone and wants to have a tribe of women that support each other, that you can call on, talk to, ask questions, because sometimes family members, spouses, good friends, you can't talk to them and you need other people. And if you want to be held accountable so that you can take the next step, then this webinar will be for you. So I hope to see you tomorrow on the webinar. We will talk. It's live, so it's exciting. And once again, don't forget you get the free bonus. So that's it. Have a great Sunday and see you tomorrow.